What's going on, everybody? It's the BenchWarmers. If you guys are new, be sure to hit subscribe. We have a 500 subscriber goal. We'd like to hit that goal by the end of this off season. Noah is out of town this week, so he won't be in our upcoming videos. Stay tuned for the Colts off-season report. We've got that video coming out tomorrow. With that, let's get into our Texans off-season report. They went 11-5 last year. Started out 0-3. And Deshaun Watson led them back to an 11-5 record. They won their division, ended up losing in the wild card round to the Colts. Brandon, I know this is your favorite team, so I'll let you go ahead and start off.
Yeah, this last season definitely got me excited and hurt at the same time. We did have that big run where we ended up winning several games to come back and
it was like
put us into
7 straight.
Yeah, eight or 9 straight. So that was big for me. Losing to the Colts in the playoffs kind of hurt me though, because we did get beat really badly. I know, and that hurt. But we have stuff that we can do to help out. We got offensive linemen during the draft. I mean, that'll help out big time. We have maybe a few receivers coming, or we have a receiver coming back. So I mean, but I'll get into more of that here in just a second. But the biggest thing for us right now is we lost Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs, which is kind of good for me too, because I like the Chiefs too as well. That's my first team, and then Texans are second, definitely, because it's home and away. But losing Tyrann to the Chiefs kind of hurt the Texans overall because they need people in the backfield. Kareem Jackson, that kind of hurt me too because he was one of our good corners, one of the ones that actually could keep up with people and help out. Jadeveon Clowney has been talking about not playing for the first few games in for the preseason, maybe even the first game of the season. So that's going to kind of hurt me because they have a franchise right now on him. So that'll kind of hurt for me not seeing him play with us. But we'll see what happens with that. But overall, I mean, we got Tayshawn Gibson, however you say that, from the safety from the Jaguars. That'll help out in the backfield, replacing Tyrann Mathieu. We got Bradley Roby from the Broncos. That would be a big thing for us, having a corner to replace the ones that we just got rid of, which was basically all of them, or the only good one too. But yeah, I mean, honestly, we got some people from the draft too for the offensive line, which is going to be big for us because we couldn't protect Deshaun Watson last year. That hurt us big time because, I mean, without protecting him, he can't get the ball off. He can't be at his full potential as what he is. But we got Tytus Howard, so I mean that's a big one. That was a big one that kind of stood out for me. So other than that, I mean, we got rid of Ryan Griffin, our tight end. So that's something interesting. Maybe we won't have a tight end, honestly, this year because, I mean, like Darren said before we started, we really haven't had a tight end. No one really hears of a tight end at the Texans.
Yeah.
But I'll kick it back over to you, Darren.
Yeah, so I think, obviously, the thing that they have to improve most is the O-line and protecting Deshaun Watson. 62 sacks last year, and he got hit 133 times. For a guy his size, he can only take so many hits like that. Yep. And so
I eventually started feeling the hits after a while because, I mean, I sat there and watched him, and I was like, dude, this has to hurt.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing anything about it?
Yeah. But they didn't get it big names in free agency. They drafted a lot of young talent that may not be day one starters, but they will, over time, transform into a really good O-line. So yeah. That's something that I think is the biggest, the most glaring issue going into the offseason. Obviously, losing the Honey Badger, Kareem Jackson, the corner, and Clowney. Not sure what's going to happen there. I think he gave the team a deadline or something.
Yep.
But I think the defense is going to be fine. Pass D is definitely the biggest issue. Losing, the safety and corner. So that's going to be the biggest thing I'm going to watch for is their pass defense because they still have J.J. Watt. I think Clowney. I think they will either get a deal done or Clowney will play under the franchise tag.
Yeah, in my opinion, I mean they didn't spend a whole lot on cap for the offseason. They picked up, like you said, a lot of young people. people that you could pay a short amount of money for.
Yeah.
I mean, to get by and still do something. So, I mean, I think they'll definitely end up paying Jadeveon Clowney. It's just a matter of... It's just a matter of they're just waiting.
Getting the deal done.
Longer and longer, just in case they decide, oh, this guy's available now. I'm going to go for him. But
so, for the offense, they still have Lamar Miller, who I think is a credible running back. Deshaun Watson, we all know how well he can play if he stays healthy, which, if the O-line improves, I think that won't be a very big worry. But my biggest thing for offense is someone else needs to step up other than DeAndre Hopkins, because last year that's pretty much all the offense was DeAndre Hopkins. Will Fuller, if he can come back and stay healthy, I think that'll be a really good weapon for Deshaun Watson as well. So
I forgot to mention that one, But that will be big for him, is having Will Fuller back. That'll definitely help me out, because I've seen him play. I mean, just as long as he, like you said, stays healthy, that's going to be great for him.
So I think in conclusion, I think they still, on paper, have a pretty good roster. Offensive line, biggest issue, and another weapon alongside DeAndre Hopkins, and pass defense. Those are going to be like the three things that I watch for the Texans this season.
That's pretty funny. That's the funny thing, though, is that usually we think, well, it's all up to the quarterback. Yeah. Will he get hurt this year or not? And I mean, Jadeveon Clowney's healthy right now. I mean, they don't have him rated out right now. So I mean, we can't really say will he stay healthy. It's just the fact of, at this point, it's no longer the QB. It's will the offensive line stay together and try to do something to protect Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
because you don't really have that like in Marcus Mariota. He doesn't. I mean, he has a decent offensive line. You never really hear anyone else say anything about an offensive line, but that's the biggest thing, is you have to have an offensive line.
So let's go ahead and make our predictions for the Texans in that division. It seems like we keep going back to this division. We've had the Titans last week, and then obviously we just did the Colts. That video will be out tomorrow, like I said. But it's a really interesting division. I've said it 100 times. I think the Titans are a sleeper team, and I have them taking second. Colts, obviously, first place, I think. And so really it comes down to the Texans and Jags, and neither team is bad. And that's what I think makes this division, I think that's what's going to make it fun to watch, because it really will be almost like a toss-up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags come in second, and I wouldn't be surprised if they take last. So Texans or Jaguars, I think it's hard to say. I think they'll probably take third, honestly, and that's not a knock to the Texans.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Even the Jags, I just don't know about Nick Foles. That's the only thing. So that's why I put the Texans ahead of them. But yeah,
I got the Colts for sure. The Colts are, I got to give them respect. They have a lot of salary cap. They didn't do a whole lot over the offseason, but they also did do a lot over the offseason. They didn't really need to. Yeah, they didn't really need to make any changes because, they had the players they need to. It's just execution is what it is. So I got the Colts going at first. I have the Texans at second, not to favor anything, but just like I've said in the past, or in the past videos that we've done, I don't know about the Titans because, they had a good team last year. They have a good team this year as well, but it could still end up being the same. It's all up to Mariota. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars, I know they got Nick Foles, and I know Noah's all hyped about that, but honestly, it's Nick Foles. We haven't seen a full season from him. We don't know what it's going to be like. He has more chances to get injured now that he's playing a full season. It's not just the Super Bowl playoffs and all that. So, it's a toss-up, but then I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at last, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun division to watch. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, that does it for our Texans offseason report. Like I said, Colts tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys are alerted each week. We do have new videos coming out. It's been the Benchwarmers, guys.
Deuces.